This video is brought to you by AztecaSoccer.com, your one-stop shop for all the latest and greatest soccer gear. Be sure to use coupon code SR4U at checkout to receive 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Tiempo Legend 5 in the latest Neo Turquoise and Hyper Crimson colorway. Now inside the box, because this is a top-end model from Nike, a string bag is included, and the string bag you get with this colorway of the Tiempo is the first one in a long time to not come with a generic Nike string bag. Instead, you can see that the bag is that Neo Turquoise color, and then it fades to black with your white Tiempo branding in the middle, black strings, and then on the back of the bag it's solid black with a white Nike swoosh. Other than that though, all you're going to find inside the box are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what is one of the most unique colorways we've seen of the Tiempo Legend 5 since it first came out. So here they are. This is Neo Turquoise and Hyper Crimson. Neo Turquoise being this bluish turquoise green color, and then obviously Hyper Crimson being the bright orange. And I will say that they look a lot different in person than they do on TV. So in today's video, we're going to go over all the details as far as the colorway is concerned, as well as briefly touch on the overall performance. If any of that interests you, please stick around. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. To start things off, let's take a closer look at this particular colorway of the Legend 5. Now, like I mentioned earlier, the first thing that really surprised me when I saw this shoe in person is the actual Neo Turquoise color here. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the professional players wearing them on TV, and for whatever reason, even in this video, the camera seems to pick up this Neo Turquoise color as almost like a light blue, and that's kind of what I was expecting it to be. But in person, hopefully you guys can see this in the video. I'll try to change the white balance around a little bit so it's more accurate to what it looks like in person. But it's essentially a teal color. So it's a darker blue with a slightly greenish tinge to it. And it's just really, really interesting looking. It does have more of a matte finish to it. Some of the colorways of the Legend have a shiny finish to the leather. This one is definitely more of a matte finish. And it accents extremely well with this very vibrant Hyper Crimson color, which essentially is just a neon orange. Just for the sake of comparison, so you guys can get a better idea of what this blue is like, here is my pair of Nike ID Magista Obras in what is unmistakably a royal blue color. And you can see side by side, this definitely has that greenish tinge to it. So again, Neo Turquoise, royal blue. Don't expect these to be light blue if you are planning on ordering them. So again, lateral side of the shoe as well as the entire toe box and forefoot is Neo Turquoise. The instep or medial side, as you guys can see, is all Hyper Crimson bright orange, as well as the laces, the insole, the Tiempo branding on the heel, and then the majority of the outsole as well, which kind of comes to a divide where it transitions into, again, that Neo Turquoise color right at the base of the sole plate. And then as far as other accents are concerned, you can see your ACC branding, the Nike swoosh on the tongue, as well as the lateral and medial side Nike swooshes are white in color. These ones have a nice black outline, which I thought was kind of interesting. It gives the shoe somewhat of a cartoony look from what I kind of just took note of. And that's pretty much it as far as the colorway is concerned. Definitely very vibrant. The brightest of all the Tiempo Legend colorways that we've seen so far. So if you're looking for something that stands out with more of a traditional feel that you're going to get from the Tiempo Legend, this is definitely a colorway to consider. In terms of performance, I'm a big fan of the Legend 5. In fact, I would say it's my favorite shoe on the market as of right now. It really does have a lot to offer if you're looking for something that offers a soft, padded, natural leather feel on the ball, but at the same time doesn't lack modern innovation. It really combines the best of both worlds as far as old school feel and more of a tighter, technical fit that you would expect from a modern soccer shoe. Now we're going to go over some of the brief performance features that you should know about the Tiempo Legend 5 in today's video, but if you want all the details, I'll leave an annotation on screen to my playtest video if you want to go ahead and check that out, and I'll also leave a link down below in the description to the highly detailed full written review on my website. Again, that link is down below in the description, so be sure to check that out if you want all of the details possible. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, it's pretty straightforward. The front portion of the shoe, or the majority of the upper, is made from a very high quality, extremely soft kangaroo leather material, and it's really nice. It's certainly not the nicest kangaroo leather of any shoe out there on the market. The Copa Mondiale comes to mind as a really nice one. And there's some other Italian brands that offer some extremely nice leather uppers. But what you get here is definitely premium and what I would consider to be some of the best available. So in terms of softness and providing a nice high quality touch on the ball, you're not going to be disappointed with what you get here on the Legend 5, especially after a couple hours of break-in time. It does have a central lacing system, as you can see, where Nike has modified the lacing system in comparison to past Tiempo models, where it's a little bit higher up, so you have more of an open area here across the top of the toes and forefoot, just to allow for a very clean touch on the ball. The tongue itself is made from a synthetic material, I believe a Kangalite, and you can see it's relatively thin but features a strip of memory foam right through the middle. So again, you get that consistent padded touch across the entire upper. And then of course it's finished off with ACC all conditions control technology, which allows for a slightly better grip on the ball in wet weather playing conditions, which is definitely a nice little touch that you're going to find with pretty much all of Nike's high-end models. Moving on to the rear portion of the shoe, you do have an internal plastic heel counter, about an average cut here at the ankle, so it's supportive but still low cut enough to where you don't lack that mobility in the ankle area of the shoe. The inside heel liner is a perforated synthetic leather material with a decent amount of padding, so again, comfort is actually very, very good here. As far as the inside of the shoe is concerned, you do have a fully removable insole, which features a mesh liner on top, perforations throughout. It's made from a layer of this fairly dense yellow foam, and then you're going to find pour-on inserts in the heel, as well as in the forefoot and toe box area. So again, step-in comfort is really, really good. And then speaking of the inside of the shoe, one of the most attractive features and one of the most unique features of the Tiempo Legend 5 in comparison to any other kangaroo leather shoe out there is the Hypershield liner. You can see the branding right there. And on the inside of the shoe, you're going to find a lining material. You can see it's like a honeycomb mesh, essentially the base layer mesh material that you're going to find in the form of Nike skin on the Hypervenom Phantom. And that mesh base layer acts as the kind of lining material for the leather itself. So normally you'd have several layers of thin, solid synthetic material that make up the liner, but here you just have a single layer of this padded mesh, which not only makes for less bulk and a closer touch on the ball, it also has a couple of other benefits, such as being more lightweight, drying a lot more quickly, not absorbing as much water, as well as maintaining the shape of the shoe a lot better than a standard liner would. So as far as innovation that you can't actually see that doesn't take away from the classic feel of the shoe, the Hypershield feature on the Legend 5 is definitely one of my favorites, and part of the reason why this is such a great model at the end of the day. As far as the sole plate is concerned, this is of course the firm ground layout. It features a pretty standard TPU plastic outsole, relatively thin, very, very flexible in the forefoot, but still nice and solid through the midfoot with this extra little strip of extra material here just to stiffen it up. You do have your bladed studs in the heel, and then in standard Tiempo fashion, you have your 8 conical studs in the forefoot with some bladed support studs in the middle, as well as one little stud right there at the tip of the toe. A Mercurial-esque stud is what I like to call it. And in terms of traction, one of my personal favorite traction patterns currently out there on the market. It provides a really nice combination of grip when pushing off and maneuverability when planted, and plenty of stability from the bladed studs right there at the heel. So again, in terms of overall performance, it actually is my personal favorite shoe out there right now, and a shoe that I can strongly, strongly recommend if you're looking for something with a high quality kangaroo leather upper, a tight fit, great traction, and just a good overall package. In terms of weight, I don't really have any complaints with the Legend 5. It's certainly not the lightest shoe around, but in terms of what you get as an entire package and the overall construction of the shoe is concerned, it's actually a little bit lighter than you perhaps might expect, and definitely one of the lighter options within this particular style of soccer shoe. Now, as far as weight goes, we're going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. Going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 8.3 ounces. So right at that 8 ounce mark for a shoe that is essentially a full kangaroo leather upper and offers a really solid and comfortable feel on feet. You really can't ask for too much more. If you're comparing it to something like the Copa Mondiale, even the current Adidas 11 Pro, this is, like I said, a little bit lighter, something that you will notice on feet. And again, if you were looking at a pair of Legend 5s, it's not the lightest shoe around, but the weight of the shoe is definitely nothing to complain about either. Alright, so here's a look at the Tiempo Legends on feet. And from out of the box, these are very, very comfortable shoes, as you might expect. What's unique about the Legend 5 is that it features the X1.1 last from the Hypervenom line. So in comparison to other kangaroo leather shoes out there, it will have a tighter fit from right out of the box than you might expect. With that being said, give it a couple hours of break-in time. The kangaroo leather upper will stretch very, very nicely and just make for a nice, tight, comfortable, custom fit once the shoe is broken in. So in terms of comfort, you're going to get some really, really good feel out of the Nike Tiempo Legend 5. The kangaroo leather will soften up, it becomes more flexible, it forms to the exact shape of your foot. No complaints whatsoever when it comes to comfort. As far as the width of the shoe is concerned, like I mentioned, it does have a tighter fit from right out of the box, but in comparison to all of Nike's other kind of premium models, if you will, or their high-end models, this is definitely one of the wider options, with the widest I would say being perhaps the Nike Premier, but this would be the next best widest option from Nike if you're looking at their high-end shoes. So as long as you don't have really, really wide feet where you tend to have trouble fitting into shoes, these should fit pretty much anybody. So again, these are definitely a shoe that's suitable for most people. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing a size 9.5 US as opposed to my usual size 9. These run about a half size small, so if you are looking to order a pair of Nike Tiempo Legend 5s, I would strongly recommend going half a size up for the proper fit lengthwise. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Neo Turquoise Nike Tiempo Legend 5. A very bright colorway that I think a lot of people will like. And as far as the shoe is concerned, my personal favorite as of right now, I love the kangaroo leather upper. I like the Hyper Shield liner a lot. It's very comfortable. And I'm a big fan of the Tiempo stud pattern. So for me personally, this is really ideal. And I think for a lot of people, if you're looking to try a pair of kangaroo leather soccer shoes, or a pair of natural leather soccer shoes for that matter, something from the Tiempo line is definitely worth considering because it's very, very good this year. Again, if you want more details on the overall performance, I'll leave an annotation on screen to my playtest video so you can go ahead and check that out. And also, if you guys want all the details in written form, check out the full written review on my website, linked down below in the description. You'll find on that review page the written review, the high quality images that give you a better idea as to some of the close-up details on this shoe that you might not necessarily see in the online stock photos. And you'll also find buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you can pick these up below their retail price. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. Other than that though guys, if you have any questions regarding this shoe or any suggestions for other content you'd like to see featured on the channel, be sure to leave those down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.